do you feel like you've made it? Or do you, because you come across, and we don't know each other that well, but like you come across as someone that doesn't necessarily have a huge chip on their shoulder, like some players that maybe were underdogs. I know we talked to Damian Lillard about this a ton, but there's obviously a quiet confidence to your game, to your demeanor, to the way you carry yourself. But do you feel like you've made it?
I think that for me, with that question, it's like there are levels to it. Like, yeah, like if like at 17, I'm like, man, I just want to make it to the NBA. So then it's like, okay, bam, I made it. But now it's like, do I want to be an all-star? Do I want to be a champion, Hall of Fame, all this other stuff? And now it's like, no, I don't feel like I've made it. Now, my first goal to making it to the NBA, yes, I made it. That's why I said it's just levels to it, and I keep just trying to build upon it. And with the chip, I would say I've never been an underdog before, but obviously, getting drafted to the Kings, it's been very different from what I've had from being born to 19 years old. It's very different. And now, I mean, I would say my demeanor, it doesn't seem as if I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder, but every time I step out there, like I'm going at whoever it is, no matter what.
No, you're a killer. I wasn't suggesting that you weren't a killer.
Oh yeah. No.
I wasn't suggesting that at all.
But no, I would say yes and no. I feel like I've made it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, the what is it? The goalposts keep changing, or whatever the expression is.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I can relate to that, and I can sort of have seen that play out in my career. If I can get to, if I can make the rotation, if I just want to be a rotational player, and it's like I want to be a starter, and it's like, I once also too had aspirations of being an all-star. That ship has sailed. We know that.
Yeah, but look at you now, one of the greatest shooters to touch a ball. What is this year? What you said?
I just
16?
Finished 14.
Was this year 14?
Yeah, I just finished 14.
You're 14. Come on now,
I've done all right, man.
JJ had the playoff streak until for the crazy 2020. It was there, but
fucking COVID.
Not so much. Jared,
I want to bring up. He brought up something. I want to touch on this. We're going to bring it up later in the show, but I'm going to touch on it now because you brought it up, and that's getting drafted by the Kings. So, Tommy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Kings have not been in the playoffs since I've been in the NBA.
So this is what I was going to ask. So yeah, keep going.
Okay, so we're the last time they were in the playoffs was 2006. That was when I was in college.
Yeah,
they have not been in the playoffs since then. And I think it's a real challenge as a young player coming to a young team and trying to understand how you change that culture and how you build a winning culture. And it's got to be. I would assume it's a huge challenge for you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a huge challenge. But the thing is, like whenever our draft process is going on, and obviously after the lottery, you kind of see where teams stack up. I was like, man, I kind of want to go to 5. Like, I want to be the 5th and go to the Kings. And for me, it's like just imagine being one of those players that's on a team that, hasn't been in the playoffs in over a decade, almost 2 decades, a decade and a half, and then being the team that's being the first team to actually get to the playoffs. I think it's obviously it's hard as hell, especially being in the West. But just being able to be a part of that would definitely be something special. And if we can, end up building a championship contending team, then it's like, man, if you're winning a championship in Sacramento, like that's looked at a lot differently. You probably feel better than you do with anything else. And I just wanted to be a part of that process. And, for as long as I'm here, however long I'm here, if I'm able to do that, man, I just feel like that's a pretty good career if you're able to do it. So